Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Kerbal Space program. In the last episode, we got our parking orbit established around Duna, and then sent our lander on its way to try to reach the surface of the red planet, Duna. Which it did. But the first time was a little too fast, because I did not have my parachute setting set correctly. They need to deploy a lot higher in altitude because of how thin the atmosphere is there in order to do their job. And so I did go ahead and revert back to a quick save because I didn't want to completely trash the entire mission. So did that with the correct setting and was able to land successfully, get the rover deployed, and was able to find several features on the surface to scan. So we got our science there, and it's all gone very well. And we are ready to go ahead and take back off and get back into space and dock back up with the mothership, the Ballista. Yes. So let's go ahead and get back on over to the lander. Now, I did test this a little bit to make sure it loads in correctly. So there's going to be something goofy that starts happening here when we load in. And you'll see what I mean in just a moment. Alright, there we are. Yeah, stay stable. This thing is all kinds of goofy right now. So, what we're going to have to do is get our engineer, Bill here, to hop on out and take care of this little problem. Oh, come on, come on. Just fall off. Okay. Alright, so what we need to do is I need to disassemble that decoupler and then disassemble that service bay. And that will do the job. Now, just make sure I'm not leaving anything here. No. And why are you rolling? Your brakes should be locked. Alright, let's get this thing a bit far away. Just so that it doesn't interfere with our liftoff. Okay. We'll move it a bit further away. That'll do. All right, Bill. Let's get you back on board because we're not leaving you here. Okay, now, there was one thing that I did find in my testing that the autopilots don't seem to know how to fly this thing correctly. I don't know why. There's also something goofy going on with this this tank. I don't know why that is the way that is. That might be part of it. Don't know. So, this liftoff, I am going to have to fly manually. And the thing is, I need to take a look at what orbital direction. Okay, so the ballista is going this way, which means we need to take off going that way, which means that we need to head... this way? That says 90. Alright, hold on. We are controlling from the right spot, right? I think so. Alright, well, let's just, yeah, we need to go this way. We need to go that way. Yeah, west. Alright, let's go ahead and close this up. We got my stability assist on. And let's hit it. The goal here is just to get into orbit. We can do plane changes and corrections once we get there. We're starting to get out of the thick part of Duna's atmosphere. I'm going to start putting some horizontal velocity in here. The apoapsis, I want to get to be kind of just above the atmosphere because I want to do as little thrusting while we're in the atmosphere as possible. So somewhere around 55 to 60 kilometers is what I'm aiming for. But I still do want to throw some horizontal velocity on here, so that's what we'll hold there. Alright, 40 kilometers, apoapsis. $50 kilometers. 55 kilometers. 60 kilometers. Cut the engines. Alright, let's prepare our circularization burn. Which I really should have come here from the other direction. But that's okay, because I'm actually fighting Duna's rotation at this point. 53, 63. Alright, as long as you're above the atmosphere, that's what I really care about. Alright. That'll do. Hold the maneuver. We are losing apoapsis height. Actually, hold prograde. I might need to give this a little bit more juice. Need to get a bit above that 50-kilometer mark. That'll work. It's be a 24-second burn. All right, hold that maneuver. All right, we're above the atmosphere. All right. And you know what I forgot to do? Forgot to retract that ladder. There we go. I don't think it really affected anything. All right, so if it's a 22-second burn, which means we want to start the burn at 11 seconds, T minus 11 seconds. So let's go ahead and get ourselves there. And there we are. We want that periapsis to come up to around 60. And there we are. Oh, engines off. Engines off. Whew. Okay. Apoapsis height. Now, I do want to bring that up a little bit higher to about there. Okay. Now, I want to circularize at our apoapsis. This is for phasing purposes with the ballista, so we can get our rendezvous. There we go. 65 meters per second. It's going to be a 4-second burn. That should work. All right, hold that maneuver. That'll get our solar panels pointing in the right direction. All right, 28 minutes to the node. Let's go ahead and get us there. Now I am going to use the actual rendezvous autopilot for the actual rendezvous, because that should work well enough. And it saves me a lot of time messing around with maneuver nodes. Okay, there we are. This should be a 4-second burn. T minus 2 seconds. 4, 3, 2. All right, we're circularized well enough. Let's get that solar panel pointed in the right direction. There we go. Alright, rendezvous autopilot. Our target is the ballista, and I'm going to go ahead and tell it to engage. 51 meters per second to match planes. That should be fine. We have 270 meters per second left. So as long as it takes less than 100 meters per second to burn per maneuver to actually do the rendezvous, it'll be fine. Which it should. And then once we're actually there at rendezvous, then we'll just be using RCS at that point. And this might demonstrate what the problem is that the autopilots get into. I don't know how that happened. Alright. We're going to have our intercept. So it's just going to take a minute. So what I might actually go ahead and do here is just pause, and once we're there, I'll go ahead and be back. Okay, so we are rendezvoused, and on our final approach for docking. And we're fine for monopropellant, so that's not an issue. And then once we're docked, I need to resupply the lander. And then we're going to be heading on over to Ike to do this all over again. No parachutes this time. So I'm going to have to be propulsive landing all the way. Alright, there we go. So, let's go ahead and use the fuel balancer for liquid hydrogen to fuel that guy back up. And there we go. And then for oxidizer, same thing. There we are. Now, I'm going to need to do this kind of manually with the monopropellant tanks, even though I didn't hardly use any monopropellant. I am still going to go ahead and transfer some in. Make sure they're topped off. All right. There we go. So now we're going to be firing up these engines again, so I need to get the reactors hot. And there we are. Reactors active, and let's start planning our rendezvous. And there it changed my symbol again. My icon. Annoying. Rename vessel. You're a ship, not a station. Okay. So you set as target. And I think, let's see, we're going around like this. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to time warp kind of past where I think the maneuver is going to need to be. So right about there. Okay. So I think we're going to need to do the maneuver here. Let's see. And there we have an encounter. Excellent. So if I pour on a little bit more speed, what are you gonna do? $191. Now, would it be better to come around behind or come out in front? Let's see. If I were to come out in front, well, that's behind. Can I even get out in front? I don't think so, but that should work right there. Okay, so 267.1 meters per second at delta V. Oh, let's make sure that we shut down these engines because we don't want those firing. Get our maneuver planner running and ready to go. But what I've found is using the SAS with the reaction wheels is faster than telling this thing to execute the node. For whatever reason, the maneuver planner doesn't use the reaction wheels to their fullest capability. But this does. So we're going to go ahead and orient to the node first, and then we're going to activate the computer to run the maneuver. Because it's more effective. So we had 2-minute long burn. I think I'll just keep everybody on board the lander for the time being. And if they need some snacks, they can grab them out of these canisters. Yeah, we actually have still a lot of Delta V. And actually, I can go ahead and discard this module and both of these modules now, because they're not needed anymore. But I think I'll wait until we're in Ike orbit to do that. I'll probably wait till the entire Ike mission is done before we do that. You see the gimbals on those things twitching. Alright. I think we're there. Go ahead and tell this to execute the node. Oh, make sure it's told to auto warp as well. So that we don't sit here waiting for, you know, an hour. And, oh, one thing I do need to do is get the science payload from here taken care of. Okay. But I'll let this maneuver happen first. Because that's going to require an EVA, so... Don't want to do that while we're under acceleration. Alright, it's about ready to start. What is the acceleration we are getting? 2.37 meters per second squared. Okay. So that's what? A fourth or somewhere around, yeah, quarter G? Plus or minus? We're about halfway through. Actually, now, is there anything that I can do with this just yet? Because there should be some science on here. Review, store data, Duna scan from Duna's lowlands. Dune scan. And actually, that can be just transmitted without any loss. So we'll go ahead, and I apparently can't send it to the lab. That's interesting. And I'll transmit the data. Surface sample, keep it. And the meteorite scan, go ahead and transmit it. Alright, so still about 45 in-game seconds of burn time. Which is about twice that in real time. Now, would I want to put anybody in here? No, I don't think so. Would have been nice to bring a second scientist, but then that would have put a lot more load on the supplies. But everybody else is still doing fine. You want a gravity scan? Go ahead and transmit it then. Alright, how is our orbit looking? It's looking good. We don't quite have the encounter yet. There we go. Let's see how close we get to our planned trajectory. Pretty close. Excellent. Alright, so let's go ahead and take care of that EVA. I need a scientist. I need Bob. Alright, so what are you doing? Take that seismic data. Take that barometric data. Take the gravioli data. Take that materials science pod. Yeah, that's fine, and then restore it. Now, I'm guessing you can't get that goo. No. Okay. But you can get this goo. And then restore it. And then get that material science data and restore it. And you can't get those. Okay, so we're gonna need to get that stuff. Oh, temperature. Temperature data. Take that. Alright. Actually, reboard. Because this whole thing is rotating. Alright, stabilize, please. I don't want to deal with that rotation while I'm on EVA. Alright, good enough. Alright, let's go ahead and get up here and grab this stuff. Take that data. Take that data. Alright, good. Got it. Okay, next is going to be this goo canister that we need you to collect and restore. Okay, and actually go ahead and take all of that data. This is going to be a tricky bit of flying. Though I'm probably just going to go around. What I want to do is I want to stick this data in the command pod here. Store the experiments. Now there are 4 things here that are already in there. Can I store them here? Doesn't seem like. Can I board it? Wrong button. Is that not a hatch? I guess that's not a hatch. There should be a hatch around here somewhere. That looks like it right there. All right, there we go. We're boarded. All right, so that should be empty. All of the experiments there should be cleared and reset. And so what we now need to do is clean some experiments. Mystery Group observation from the lowlands. Seismic scan from the lowlands. And that'll go over there. The atmospheric pressure scan will go over. Alright, so just keep it for now. Keep it for now. Okay. And now I got a bunch of stuff that is going to be just transmitted back home. Alright, good stuff. With everybody on board, let's go ahead and warp ourselves out to here. 2 hours. Alright, there's Ike. Entering Duna's shadow. And it's out. Okay. There we are. Let's get the maneuver planner open. We want to circularize the periapsis, create the node, 300 meters per second. All right, we're going to tell this thing to hold a maneuver. And actually, Bob's got to get back in the capsule. And then we got 30 minutes to the node, and it's going to be another 2-minute long burn. All right, resultant orbit. Well, that would actually throw us into a polar orbit with Duna. That might be a thought for any future missions to Duna, because any future missions I want to hit the poles if we do come back here. And we could use Ike to alter our plane. The plane of our orbit. All right, so I think what I'll go ahead and do is pause here while I do the circularization, and then I'll be back once we're ready to undock and attempt to land. Yep, so I'll be back in a moment. Alright, our circularization is just about done. I don't know how circular we're actually going to get here. Pretty close. Alright, there we are. Stability. Assist. And let's shut those reactors down, because we don't need them for a little while. The crew is all still aboard the capsule. And so, let's go ahead and get to work. Undock. Back away at 2 meters per second. And I'm going to want to make sure that we're at 0 throttle. Reactivate our engines. And get ready. Alright. I want to come down over the light side of this ball of rock. Let's untarget our... Whoa. Let's not do that. Let's see. Do the maneuver here to slow us down and bring us flying over the surface. Let's go for that dark spot there. No, don't wanna be doing that. Don't wanna hit anything. Just get to there. Alright, we got a 4-second burn. Let's see, what is our orbital velocity here? 280 meters per second. Okay, that should be really good. This is almost going to be like trying to land on Minmus. It should be fairly easy. Alright, there goes the mothership. Oh, crud. Over accelerated. That's alright. We'll just go ahead and do it here. No maneuver. Hold retrograde, and we'll light the candles, and see where we end up. That looks good. Okay, so let's go ahead and warp us to about there. Alright, here is where I'm going to do my quick save. Because trying to land manually is always fraught with danger. So, where do I want to do it? Where do I want to come down here? I'd like to wait until I clear this and get over that dark area. Let's go ahead and warp a little bit. Alright, this looks good. Okay. Let's start scrubbing some speed. Alright, here we are. Coming down. Alright, let's switch this to surface. And actually, I think we over-decelerated. Alright, so now we're coming just about straight down. So let's go ahead and hold this orientation. And let's bring us... Oh, don't want to be too fast here. 5,000 meters. 4, 3, 2... Alright, we're moving at 100 meters per second. I'm going to burn off that velocity. This is not the most efficient way to do this, but it's hopefully safer. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to throttle up to where we are slowing down slowly. So I'd like to get down below 5 meters per second before we hit the ground. Got a gravity scan. Keep it. Oop, oop, too slow, too slow, too slow. Alright, we can deal with a little bit of side slip. Ooh, a little bit of bouncy, a little bit of bouncy. Don't want to do too much bouncy. Okay, and we are stable on the surface. All right. All right, engines are cold. And we're good. All right, so temperature scan. Keep that. Seismic scan. Keep that. Mr. Goo observation. Keep that. Material study. There we go. Gravity scan. Keep that. Now, if I activate my antenna, do I have access? I do. Crew report. That can get transmitted home. Atmospheric pressure scan. EVA report. There we go. Surface sample. Keep it. Reboard. EVA report can get transmitted. The surface sample stays here. Alright, let's go ahead and get Bob back out here. Probably don't even need the ladder. Let me go ahead and extend that ladder anyway. Alright, and let's plant our flag. We're going to call this the first landing. And I'm going to say, we like Ike. There you go. Oh, I actually have an EVA report while flying. Grab that. Yeah, this is almost as easy to fly on as Minmus is. I didn't want to climb. Bill, Bob, whatever your name is. I wonder if I could achieve escape with the RCS pack. All right, reboard. And that is really all we needed to do here. So, if I switch to target, and I actually aim towards, so if we advance a little bit, let the ballista get a little bit ahead of us. There we go in its orbit. Right, like that. Then what I can do is actually aim towards it, and that'll get us on the right inclination. I think. I'm pretty sure. All right. So, our mission here is complete. Let's go ahead and take back off. And we're going to aim towards the ballista here as best I can. Try and put a little bit of horizontal velocity on there, because we are getting apoapsis really fast. I'd like to push that up to about 200. Good. And then we'll go ahead and do a circularization. And yeah, the inclination is very close. That worked very well. Okay, so it's going to be 123 meters per second for a 10-second burn in 27 minutes. Let's go ahead and open that shield. So, let's go ahead and get to that circularization. Let's make sure that we're on our orbit. So 10 seconds is going to be T minus 5. Three minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Slow it down, slow it down. Okay. Eight, 7. There we go. Good enough. Okay. So now we want to rendezvous. It's going to be a 0.6 second burn. Well, that's just for matching planes, which we got really close, so there really wasn't any... hardly any effort needed for that. One of the things that happens when I'm using the autopilot is it wobbles. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, the design of this thing causes it to wobble with the autopilot. With the stability assist, with the SAS on, and flying it manually, it's solid. But the autopilot causes it to wobble. I don't know why. We are entering the physics sphere of the ballista, which is why it takes a minute. There we go. And as long as we're less than 200 meters away, we'll be fine. I can get the docking autopilot out here. I mean, I could try it manually. You know what? Let's do it. I don't need this thing afterwards, so disengage the autopilot. Let's go ahead and try and dock this guy manually. Is the last thing we do for today. Alright, where do we want to dock? Anywhere works. We'll dock there. Okay. We'll control from this docking port and we'll get the docking camera on. Let's go ahead and get that nice and big so I can see what I'm doing. And let's see, there is target. Alright, so first thing I want to do is, let's see, how fast are we moving relative to target? 0.1 meters per second. Okay. That's perfect. Okay, let's... Let's get us up to around 1 meter per second towards the target. There we go. And I probably want to be... No, other way. Other way. Oh, this needs to be flipped around. Yeah, it needs to be flipped around. Okay. Let's flip us around. Because the brown side of the ball needs to be kind of where Ike is, which is over there. So we want to keep that there. All right. Yeah, we don't need to be wasting RCS right now. All right. Good to go. Let's go ahead and time accelerate a little bit. Get us to where we need to be. All right. Now I need to be really careful I don't hit something sensitive. All right, let's okay, so now what I need to do, let's slow down a little bit so I get some time to work. All right, stop it. Alright, so I need to start orienting so that we're pointing in the right direction. Actually, I want to get it so that the camera view is now the same as the large view here. So that I know better what I'm doing here. All right. Okay. Now we are all backwards. Alright, I'm gonna be flying. I could go for that port. Yeah, let's go for that port. Okay, change of plans. Heading in the general direction of that port now. Alright. Now I'm going to need to flip back around again because of just controls. I'm going to be basically flying like this. Let me actually try and move this like over here, just so that you can kind of see from both angles. Okay. Nope, it's still off. Maybe, is it... I don't know. Whatever works. Why are we still... I want to get it so that left is left and right is right. When I say thrust right... No, is it still backwards? Weird. Oh well, I'll deal with it. Orientation's pretty good. I actually do need to aim up a little bit. And we are on target. These backwards controls are driving me nuts. But we got it. And docked. Alright. It's nice to do that manually again. Alright, so I think we'll go ahead and call that a day here. What I'm probably going to do off screen a little bit is, well, move the crew, move all the science, and dispose of the pieces we no longer need. We aren't going to need these tanks anymore. So I'm going to try and crash those into Ike. We don't need these material kits anymore. Gonna get rid of that, and then I'm going to release the lander to basically stay in orbit. It has a little bit of a relay antenna on it. Not strong enough to really get back to Kerbin. but should cover the Duna area, so it can act as a relay for any future missions in the area. Alright, so I'll take care of all of that myself, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.